and I for the love of the pride. You and I for the love of the pride. You and I for the love of the pride. All ready to ride for the love of the pride. It's a vibe though, blessed with survival. Get ready for the love, it's the pride of Kyro. You and I in our family ties. All ready to ride for the love of the pride. It's a vibe though, blessed with survival. Get ready for the love, it's the pride of Kyro. You and I in our family ties. All ready to ride for the love of the pride. I don't want any negative things to stick to the Carter name. All ready to ride for the love of the pride.
I drove down the highway at top speed through the city streets of Atlanta. I was heading to Wes's office to go completely off. After my dad's campaign party that went completely left with the reporter announcing to the world Farrah's pregnancy, I searched the internet to see where the source of that information came from. Nowhere on the internet before that moment was there any reports of Farrah's pregnancy. So I know the leak had to come from one of us. The only ones who knew was my mother, Brooklyn, and myself. And I know neither of us leaked that information to the public. Therefore, it had to have come from someone else. The other night, Wes and I had a few too many to drink. It led into a beautiful, passionate lovemaking session that afterwards led into the talk of our future. The mention of children came up, and I had shared with Wes my brother was expecting his first child. So now, I was wondering if he had shared that information to one of his press buddies. As lawyers, we all have press informants. Makes explaining how we got certain information very easy. I hoped, as I walked into Wes's office building, that I was wrong, and he did not share that private information with anyone. I rode in the elevator ready to grill him. As soon as the doors opened, I stormed towards his office. I heard voices just as I got outside.
You should have seen his face when the reporter shot out his question. I would have paid to been there in person.
Well, I'm glad you got some pleasure out of that. That stunt you pulled may have cost me my relationship. I thought I told you to wait until it hit the internet before you used that against him.
What good would it have done for me? I needed to get ahead of slandering his squeaky clean name if I wanted a chance at beating the richest man in Atlanta.
Chiba, when we agreed to do this, we agreed to do it smart, where no one could link anything back to either of us. If you keep moving this sloppy, all you're doing is pointing all fingers back to me.
I know what this is about. You don't want this to get back to London, huh? That you, her new boy toy, has been helping me take her father down.
Duh, douchebag. I don't want this to get back to London or anyone else. So, the next time I give you information, don't just throw it in the wind. And with this piece of info, you owe me some solid cases. Where the fuck are they?
What are you talking about? Aren't you trying that domestic violence case today?
Chiba, that's one case. If I have any shot of getting this promotion, I'm going to need more than one measly case a month. You have 2 weeks to bring me 3 high-profile cases or our deal is off.
What?
I don't even want to do this with you anymore. You're moving so sloppy, and besides, working with you has become a conflict of interest.
That pumpkin pie has got you open, huh?
Don't mention her again. It's bad enough I'm helping you win a race against her father. I will not let you patronize me about her too. You watch your mouth when it comes to London Carter.
The longer I stood there, the more my stomach turned. I couldn't believe my ears. The man that I was sleeping with was plotting to take down my father. Was this his plan all along for courting me? Was everything that we shared fake? The more I stood listening, the lighter my head got. So I found the ladies' room, and as soon as I opened the stall, throw up flew from my mouth into the toilet. I was so angry and hurt. All I wanted to do was scream, but I couldn't because I was in a courthouse. Oh, yeah, we're in a courthouse. After rinsing out my mouth, I ran out the bathroom and headed downstairs to the docket office. After flashing my badge, I asked the clerk to see all of Wes's cases today. The domestic violence case was this afternoon. It was against a woman who shot her husband. It was attempted murder, a slam dunk for any lawyer to get a conviction. But not for Wes. I would be defending this woman today. I'm sure she wouldn't mind switching her public defender for myself.
London! London! London!
I heard him, but I was contemplating on whether I should stop or not. This newfound information messed with my head all day. So by the time we got to trial, I was already on fire. I would have paid good money to see his face when I walked in that office as the defendant's lawyer. Lucky for me, it was free. Wes looked like he wanted to shit himself. By the time I finished in that courtroom, the judge was apologizing to the defendant. Yes, I'm that good. Just as I made up my mind to keep walking, Wes caught up with me. He grabbed my arm and swung me around.
What the hell was that, London?
What was what?
Cut the innocent schoolgirl act. You just ripped me a new asshole in court today. Besides the fact you're not even a defense lawyer, you never told me you would be representing the defendant today.
Oh, like you told me you would be working with Chiba to slander my father's name? Or like you told me you were selling my family out so Chiba could pad your dockets with cases that would make your conviction stats go up?
Where did you get this information from?
Don't even do it. Not to me, Wes. Not after everything. I seen that he wanted to so bad deny everything I was accusing him of. But after staring me in my eyes, all he could do was lower his head.
It's not what you think, London.
What is it then? Because I think the only reason you were sleeping with me is to get information to feed to Chiba.
London, God, no. I was interested in you way before I made a deal with Chiba.
So what was I? Just icing on the cake?
Stop. Don't turn this into something it's not. I messed up. Look, I'm sorry, okay? But that doesn't change the way I feel about you. London, please just hear me out.
There is nothing you can say to me that will make this okay.
Babe, please.
Don't.
London, what I feel for you is real. Please just... Please, London, please give me a chance to explain myself.
The only thing that you can explain to me is what time you will be dropping my things off to my sisters. You could have done what you did and completely left me out of it. And I wouldn't have hated you like I hate you now. Just know that I've been offered a position as a criminal defense attorney. And thanks to you and your deceitful ways, I've decided to take it. You wanted a piece of me so bad? Now you'll enjoy me all the time in the courtroom as I make it my career goal to see your stats never reach a dial past what they are now.
London! London! London!
I've been in love with this girl ever since the first time I met her at Kingston's house when we were children. Back then, I was nothing. A poor kid from the bad side of town with no money to even compete with the guys that she dated. Now, I was the man on the streets and my pockets were fat enough to buy her whatever her pretty little fingers pointed at. I sat outside of Angie's place, one of her favorite restaurants, and watched her walk up to the hostess. She pointed at me as she explained to her that she was meeting me here. The hostess then walked the infamous Brooklyn Carter to my table and left us a chance to look over the menu. I stood up to pull her chair off for her as she placed her bag on the table. Man, you look good as shit.
Is that supposed to be a compliment?
My bad. Well, what you want me to say? My, you look splendid this evening. She laughed as she took her seat.
Caleb, you don't think this is a little too open?
I watched her swirl her head from left to right, looking around for anyone she knew. But she was Brooklyn Carter. Everyone knew her. Good thing this was an upscale restaurant where people around us didn't care too much about social status, because they all had one. Nah, this is perfect. I mean, the best place to hide is in plain sight. And besides, if anyone asks, I'm just a family friend.
Yeah, all right. You don't have to worry about explaining our picture in the tabloids to your fiance.
And if you were honest with yourself, neither would you.
What is that supposed to mean?
If you don't know, just forget it.
No, tell me.
I want you like a motherfucker.
We talked about this.
Yet every time I call, you come.
Because we talked about this. And we agreed that we were just gonna be friends.
Oh yeah? Friends sleep over at each other's house and spoon till 5 in the morning?
Hey, what me and Farrah do behind closed doors is none of your business.
Okay. That's why I was falling in love with her. One of the very few females that could make me laugh. Well, I hope Farrah doesn't do the things I did to you.
In my defense, I was drunk, and I stopped it way before you took it too far.
Nah, you stopped it after you got yours. That's okay, though. I'm known for collecting debts. I sat and watched her squirm in her seat. I don't know if she was squirming thinking about the way I eat her from front to back, or because she was nervous about me collecting my debt. Either way, I was enjoying watching her squirm.
You enjoying this, aren't you?
Enjoying what?
Confusing me.
Confusing you? No. Watching you wonder what me and you could be like? Hell yeah.
Why make me wonder? Tell me, what can you and I be like?
Happy. All cards up. No trust issues because we ain't got no secrets. No wondering if I love you for you or because your status brings my status up. Because I stand on my own. I'm not looking for no fame. I'm not chasing no clout. Just a bag.
That's it? You just chasing a bag?
Now, Brooklyn Carter, what else would a man like me be chasing?
Love, happiness, peace of mind.
Well, beautiful, once I've caught you, I would have already gained those things. She began to squirm again, which answered my question. She was squirming because she was wondering. I was winning because she didn't even know it. There was no way I was letting her walk down that aisle.
So let's just say, I let you catch me.
Let?
Yes, let you catch me. What does love, happiness, and a peace of mind look like to you and me?
Aw, that's fucking easy. First, we gotta get a house in the country.
Country? Newsflash, Atlanta is the country.
Nah, baby. I mean the country, where our phone signals don't even work.
What? Why would we do that?
Because we need someplace to de-escalate after a long day at work. I don't want no interruptions when I'm with you. I mean coming home to bubble baths and soft music and home-cooked meals. Yeah, the country, where we take walks in the rain and showers outside.
What you know about that?
Girl, I'm talking reading stories to the kids by the fireplace and chasing you around the house in our PJs.
Kids, huh?
Just two. You know, it's hard finding a babysitter for more than that.
You really thought about this.
All the time. Like I said, I want you like a motherfucker. While I watched her squirm, a familiar face popped into my eyesight. From across the street, I could see Bryson parking his car in front of the restaurant and get out. He must have spotted us driving and doubled back because he didn't look too happy as he pointed us out to the hostess. I should have warned Brooklyn that her fiancé was about to walk up on us, but where was the fun in that? Instead, I planned to stay quiet and see how well she would talk her way out of this one. I would play along with any story she came up with, but just for now. Once he reached us, he tapped her on the shoulder. Brooklyn was in the middle of taking a sip of her martini when she looked up to see who was tapping her. I thought the girl would turn 3 different shades when she seen it, but she didn't. Quickly, she smiled and stood up to embrace him as if he didn't just catch her on a date with another man.
Bryson, hey baby, you came to meet us after all.
Now, I was the one who was shocked. Did she invite him out to lunch with us?
Well, I was out and about and I said, why not? When you said you was going to lunch with a friend, I didn't think it was going to be a guy friend. Who's he?
Bryson, Caleb, Bryson. Bryson, you know Caleb, stop. He's my brother's best friend. We all grew up together. Caleb comes to all of the family events to show his support. I can't believe you two never met.
Wow, this girl was good. Now she knows damn well me and Bryson have never been in the same room together. While I do show up to a lot of family events, I always leave before he shows up. Something about him I never liked.
I'm sure we have, but it's been one of those days. What's up, man? How are you?
Bryson held his hand out for me to shake, but I was a stand-up criminal, and I wasn't going to shake the hand of the man whose girl I was planning on fucking by the end of the week. Instead, I picked up my shot of Henny, poured it into my Long Island iced tea, and took a sip.
Well, baby, have a seat. We were just about to order.
Nah, I'm good. Like I said, I was just driving by. You know I have to meet my manager in a few. You two have fun.
We both knew why he was leaving. Bryson took the time to look me up and down, evaluate me, and decided I wasn't on Brooklyn's level to be any kind of threat to him. Silly man. Never judge a book by its cover. His dumbass really bought the whole family friend line. I mean, not that it was a lie.
Okay, baby, well, I'll see you at home tonight.
They hugged goodbye, and Brooklyn took her seat as if nothing just happened. Damn, you're good.
Kingston is my brother.
Noted.
What? That Kingston is your best friend and birds of a feather flock together? Yes, I did know that.
Question though, why'd you lie?
I don't think I told him one lie. What lie did you hear me tell him?
You said you'll see him at home tonight. How? When you were gonna be at my place. She looked up at me with those curious eyes to see how I was gonna get her to a place she already wanted to be.
Farrah and I walked into my father's office building holding hands. My lady was nervous as hell, but I already knew this was going to be a screaming match between my father and me. I hadn't spoken to him since the campaign party, which was odd to me. I knew I'd be summoned after that was over. Surprisingly, the only call I got was from my siblings officially congratulating me, along with my elated mother. It was Monday morning, so the lobby of my father's office was busy and full of business-stressed employees making their way to their destinations. The elevator doors opened up, and to my surprise, Neffi and Kane were already inside sharing an intimate giggle. They saw us standing on the other side of the doors and immediately stopped, giggling. Larry, me, and Farrah walked into the elevator.
Come on, little bro. Prego.
Oh, Lord. Is that going to become my new name now?
Yes?
Me and Farrah turned to look at them both as they never agreed on anything, let alone spoke in unison. In fact, them being on the same elevator, both in good spirits, was already weird to say the least. Farrah pressed the button to my father's office floor and we all stood on the elevator in silence. The elevator stopped on the 10th floor and both of them got off the elevator, even though Kane's office is on the 15th floor and Neffi's office is on the 12th floor.
Are they?
Definitely fucking.
But she...
Fucking with someone else.
But I thought...
All an act. The only way you know my brother really likes someone is if he can pick an intelligent argument with them.
Oh my gosh. Wonder what King Kyro has to say about this.
Being his Kane, not much.
The elevator opened up to my father's penthouse suite-like office, and standing there was my mother, London, and my father. There was wine and sparkling cider on the table. My mother had this giddy look on her face that I hated. My sister, she looked prepared for business as usual. And my father, well, like always, Kyro seemed to be displeased with my presence.
Kingston, Farrah.
Asia walked over to hug and kiss us both. She took Farrah's hand and led her to the table.
Please, let's all sit down.
Hello, little brother. Prego.
And here we go. You guys do know my name is still the same, even with a child growing inside of me?
Oh, don't get bent out of shape about the little stuff. You have months of being on a hormone roller coaster with Kingston as the conductor.
Dad, good morning.
Kingston, Farrah.
So, what do we owe this invitation to?
I actually just wanted to get this meeting over with. Being in my father's office building under the sea Kane always gave me the heebie-jeebies. So you can imagine what being in his office was doing to me right now.
Kingston, I don't understand why we had to find out about the pregnancy by the public. Is there any reason why you didn't share this information sooner? So we could prepare for the media storm that was sure to follow.
Dad, Kingston was trying to wait until the race was over. He didn't want to overshadow your campaign.
Well, yes, Mr. Carter,
Farrah, we're practically family. Kyro is fine.
Now this is getting weirder by the moment.
Oh, okay. While I wanted to share the good news with everyone, Kingston thought it best to wait until after the race.
Well, we'll see where following what Kingston thinks has gotten us.
And here we go.
What I think your father is trying to say is that it would have been nice to hear that his son was expecting his first child from, well, his son.
Asia, I can speak for myself. And actually, I'm very surprised that this will be his first child.
And what's that supposed to mean?
Farrah, really?
Yo, Dad, with all due respect, please don't say anything that'll upset my lady right now.
Or what, son?
Okay, enough. Your father didn't mean anything by that, son.
Asia, don't speak for me.
Guys, not right now. Daddy, you actually have some good news to share. Kingston pull your chest in. This is not what we invited you guys here for.
Hey, yo, sis, can we just get on with the purpose of this meeting? You know, you don't even fuck with me.
Whether I do or don't, you will watch your language in my presence.
Yo, I am not a boy, Dad. I'm a Grammy Award-winning multimillionaire producer. If I want to say fuck, I earned the right to say fuck.
Kingston, please stop.
I looked over at Asia, and I see me and my father managed to wipe that bright smile she had on her face when I walked in off. Now she looked like she wanted to cry. No matter how much I disliked my father, my mother will always be the one to make me bow down. And I could just see this was breaking her heart, and that's not what I wanted to do. I just wanted a little respect from my father.
Kingston, Daddy had a great idea. As you know, the media is eating up this pregnancy.
My pregnancy?
Yes, excuse me. You are so right. Anyway, there is good publicity as well as bad publicity. I strongly believe that Farrah's pregnancy was used to smear Daddy's name in this upcoming election.
Yo, hold tight, wait. How on earth is my girl being pregnant got anything to do with Dad's good name?
Is that what you asked yourself when you kept the pregnancy a secret?
Not having anything to say, I just readjusted my seat and gave the floor back to London.
Daddy came up with a perfect solution. Farrah, Kingston, why not get married?
I love that idea.
Mind?
What?
Hey, yo, Farrah, I'm not getting married just to please my father.
But if we're in love and you want to be with me like you say, what's the difference between now and later?
The difference is because later I will want it.
Oh, so because your dad wants us to get married, you don't want to marry me now?
Oh, I'm not saying that.
So am I going to have to wait until he doesn't want us to get married before you want to marry me?
Yo, don't be so facetious.
Kingston, I really don't think this is a bad idea. I really just want you to put your pride aside for a second and just think about it.
This is what Dad wants. And of course, whatever Dad wants, Asia co-signs. But London? You of all people know better. You knew I wouldn't go for this. Why are you even here?
I turned to face my father so he could see I wasn't even considering whatever he had to offer.
Oh, what? You brought London here because you hope that she can talk me into this? Now you using us against each other?
Kingston, I'm here because marriage is a legal binding partnership. I had hoped that you weren't going to be so pig-headed and we could discuss terms to your prenup.
Prenup?
See? You want to go ahead and jump on board with them.
I'm not signing no prenup.
Farrah, that is a multi-millionaire who is the son of a billionaire. That's the only way you would get married to him.
And what am I? Chopped liver? I got my own money.
Even more reason to have a premarital agreement. Marriage is a beautiful thing, and I pray it lasts forever. But God forbid if it doesn't. Kingston could walk away with all the rights to your songs and everything you hold dear. I'm here for the both of you.
While London did what she does best and made Farrah see her point of view, I was not sold.
Well, sis, thanks for having our backs. Thanks, but no thanks. Yo, come on, babe, let's get up out of here.
I got up to walk out the office. Hesitantly, Farrah got up as well.
Kingston, sit down.
Mom, no, not this time. You cannot make me play the obedient pup this time. I will not be forced into any marriage by him or anyone in this family.
Son, that's not what we're doing.
Oh, yeah? Well, what do you call this? A meeting in my father's office with my sister, the family lawyer. This is a business meeting about the future of me and my lady? Psst, come on, man.
Kingston.
Yo, you want to know what the worst thing about this is? Not once did this man say congratulations to me or my girl. I came here today out of respect for him because I knew he was going to chew me out after the campaign party. But this is over the top. But yet still, there's a small part of me that was just hoping that my father would surface and simply say, congrats, son. Yo, we out of here. Come on, babe.
Well, that went well.
Damn, never seen a man so mad he made his pregnant girlfriend walk down 18 flights of stairs.
Kyro, London, shut up.
Man, I rolled over not expecting to bump into anyone in my bed. Surprisingly, my body bumped into hers. It's been a while since I brought a female in my house. Usually, if I end up striking out, I take them to a hotel where I could love on them and leave them and never see them again. But she was different. She had my full attention. Man, thoughts of last night flooded my head. Neffi and I went out to this happy spot hour after work. One of us, or maybe both of us, had too much to drink, and somehow she ended up at my place. This woman had me so open, and before I knew it, I had her legs wide open as I explored her insides. The connection we shared last night was amazing. I have to say, I've never been with a woman in that way since, well, I've never been with a woman so passionately before, now that I think about it. The smell of her hair invaded my nostrils, making me inhale her as I squeezed her tight. She squirmed in my arms as she's slowly waking up.
Ooh, what time is it?
Time for you to go home before you get in trouble.
Huh? Now you're worried about me getting in trouble? Where was this concern when your head was in between my thighs?
I think you misunderstood me. Like then, I'm not concerned with you being in trouble now. You asked a question and I answered it.
Well, lucky for you, we don't live together.
Nah, lucky for you, because I don't have to answer to anybody.
I wish the good Lord can answer me this one question. How on earth did I allow myself to fall for you?
I kissed her on her neck, making her arch her shoulder into my face. I moved my face away from her neck and started kissing her back. She began to arch her plump ass into my crouch as my tongue licked the middle of her back. Neffi, I asked myself the same thing. Now I can't seem to get enough.
Kane, what are we going to do?
We're going to enjoy the moment. I placed my hands in between her legs and began to rub her pussy. The more she grinded on my manhood, waking him up from a satisfied slumber, the wetter she became.
What if I want more than a moment?
Then ask for what you want.
Is everything this simple to you?
I don't know what you want me to say.
I want you to say I mean more to you than just a hookup. I just cheated on my fiance for you.
I stopped touching her and buried my head in her back. I knew what she wanted from me, but I didn't want to give it to her. I didn't want to tell her that what I wanted more than what she could give me. Because then what if I gave it to me? You know what they say, you lose them how you get them. Plus, I was forced into marriage at a young age. And even though I was getting older, marriage wasn't what I wanted. Being Misha put me through absolute hell. Yes, Neffi was different in every way, but I didn't know where we stood. All I knew was that she was my addiction, and for some reason, I couldn't get enough of her. I didn't have a right to ask her to give up what she had just so I could explore what I wasn't sure I wanted. I just wanted to explore it. I wanted to be near her, inside of her. I wanted to date and get to know each other better. But I know she wanted to know if she gave up what she had, would I be ready to jump in and take his place? Truth of the matter was, I wasn't. You mean more to me than an occasional hookup.
Gee, thanks, Kane. I feel so much better.
Neffi jumped out of bed and began looking for her clothes. The night we had, I knew it would take a while for her to find them, being that I remember for sure we was naked before we even got into my room. A part of me wanted to lay in bed and watch her sexy ass look for her clothes around the room I knew she would never find. Instead, I jumped up after her. That's what you wanted me to say? Why are you mad now that I said it? I grabbed her, holding her in my arms. Something about when this girl is in my arms, her body completely relaxes and our bodies mesh together.
Don't be your usual asshole self. You know what I mean.
You want me to say something that will make this night okay. But I don't have any words that'll do that. We had an incredible, amazing night last night. And now it's morning. And you have to go pretend like you're a little good fiance And I have to pretend like you're not on my mind 24/7. I have to try and forget your scent and the way your hands feel caressing my skin, or the way your walls wrap around me and the sound of you moaning in my ears as you come all over me. I have no words to tell you how to do that, because then I would just tell them to myself. But instead, I'd rather you hear you moan one last time before we face reality. I'm not sure which part of what I said made her feel like pinning me down and riding me like a cowgirl gone wild, but that's exactly what she did before we both left out and head to work. When I arrived at my office, my secretary informed me that my father wanted to speak to me as soon as possible. So I stopped by his office before I even sat at my desk. As soon as the elevator doors opened to his office, my ex-wife was coming onto the elevator. Shit, I should have known right then what he wanted to see me about. I'm surprised it took her this long to snitch. The argument we had after she caught Neffi and I in the bathroom, you would have thought she caught me cheating on her. Several times during the argument, I had to remind myself that we're not even together. Maisha gave me this little sneaky smile as if she walked past me onto the elevator. I don't put my hands on women, but if I did, I would have smacked that smile right off her face. Good morning, Pops. You wanted to see me?
Kane, sit down.
I did as I was told. I tried to gauge my father's mood this morning, but he was unreadable.
Son, you know your wife couldn't wait to tell me about you and Nefertiti.
Dad.
Now, son, hold on.
It's not what you think it is.
Yeah, and what do you think I think it is?
You think me and Neffi are seeing each other.
I know you, son. I don't think you're seeing her. I think you're screwing her.
Okay. So it is what you think it is.
Son, why her? There are so many other women you could have screwed. I mean, my secretary is a good lady.
Oh my gosh, Dad! Look, it's no secret that my dad isn't faithful to Asia. I think the only one that thinks my dad is faithful to Asia is London. And that's only because she refuses to see what's right in front of her face.
I'm just saying, why her?
I had an itch that I had to scratch.
And now?
Well, Dad, I'm still itching.
Son!
What do you want me to say? Me and my dad had that type of relationship where we could be open and honest.
I want you to say that you will stop screwing my PR so I don't have to fire her.
Whoa, Dad!
No, son. There are no exceptions when it comes to certain staff on our team. You start fucking with important members and their judgment becomes cloudy.
And your secretary?
One, that was years ago. She's married now.
You're married now like you were married then.
And two, she's just the secretary. They come a dime a dozen. The PRs are off limits. Just like they are to Kingston, it's the same for you. You keep fucking her, and I'm going to have to fire her. And I really like Neffi.
Dad, so do I.
Then do us all a favor and end this. Whatever you two have going, she's a good girl. She's engaged, for goodness sake. All you're going to do is hurt her with your emotionally detached ways.
Hey.
I call it like I see it. End it. If you like her like you say you do, end it. Or she has got to go too.
But what if it's more than just screwing? Like, what if I actually fell for her? Taken back, Kyro jerked his head. It's no secret that I can be a bit cold, making it hard for women to get close to me. But Neffi is different. Neffi challenges me in ways I didn't know I could be challenged.
What are we talking about, son?
I mean, I think I'm falling for her, Dad. I don't want to bullshit you, I really don't. But it's not going to be that simple.
Son, I'm going to say this. And if I have to say it again, I'm cutting her loose. I don't want to hear anything about you and Neffi from this point on. Do I make myself clear?
Fully understanding my father was telling me to keep my relationship with Neffi under wraps and top secret, I simply stated, "Yes, sir," and walked out of his office.
I've made this walk 1,000 times before. But for some reason, today it just seems so long and dreadful. I already put in my 30-day notice with my firm as I would be starting my new position next month. The only thing left for me to do was tell my father, which is where I was heading to right now. After that long walk from the driveway, I entered my parents' house. Everyone was already here, as tonight was Sunday, and my mother invited us all over for a family dinner. Kingston was the first person I saw when I walked into my parents' foyer. He had a cup in his hand, and from the looks of his happy-go-lucky demeanor, that was not his first cup of the night. Hello, brother. You seem happy to see me. I thought you were still mad about our meeting last week.
No, I mean, I'm not mad at you. Well, I was, but you know I can't stay mad at you for too long.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I was really bothered about how we left things.
So bothered you didn't even pick up the phone to call and check up on me?
Bothered, but not bothered enough to swallow my pride. Besides, I'm the elder here. You should have called me.
Yeah. I'll accept your apology if you do me a solid.
I'll do you a solid, and you don't have to even accept the apology I never offered.
Whatever. I just need you to talk Dad out of this marriage business.
Why do I need to talk him out of it? You said no. What more is there to be said?
This is Kyro, and you know as well as I know, whatever Kyro wants, Kyro gets. And I don't know what underhanded deal he's got cooked up to make this marriage happen, but I would rather if you talked him out of the notion so that we won't ever have to find out.
But really, Kingston, if you're truly in love with Farrah, what is so wrong with marrying her?
Dad forced Kane into marriage before he was ready, and look how that turned out. He's not doing that to me.
Kane was a teenager who was never in love with Misha. You are a grown-ass man who was madly in love with Farrah. Now we're just having a pissing match when you know the family name comes before all.
You, of all people, should have a problem with that.
Upset, Kingston walked away. His comment cut deep because I knew exactly what he was referring to. Taking a deep breath, I continued my walk into the house. As I entered the dining room, everyone was already sitting at the table, indulging in dinner and conversation. My family looked up to see me and all greeted me with warm welcome. Everyone except for Brooklyn. We hadn't spoken in weeks now, and truth be told, I missed my little sister.
London, why are you so late? We started serving dinner a while ago.
I'm sorry, Mommy. I wasn't hungry, and I had to finish some things up at the office.
On a Sunday? You were working on a Sunday?
Well, yes, Daddy. I had to close out some cases.
Well, honey, I'm sure that could have waited until Monday.
But that's London, the overachiever.
Well, actually, Daddy, they couldn't have. See, I only have 30 days to close out all of my accounts. I'm leaving the firm.
Excuse me, little girl? What did you just say?
Daddy, I said I'm leaving the firm.
Well, all right. What do you plan on doing next?
I'm glad you asked, Mama. I was offered a position as a criminal defense attorney, and I accepted the offer.
Wait, you're leaving a prestigious law firm, the one that handles all of your family's business, to become a public defender?
Daddy, the position is more than that.
But what about your family's business? Who am I going to trust with all our assets? We have been ripped off before. I feel much more secure knowing that my daughter is handling our affairs. Who is going to assure that no one's swindling us?
Daddy, I can still look over your affairs. I just won't be in charge of your accounts. But if there's anything you need me to look over, I'll be more than happy to.
Really? And you think that's enough? After all I've done for you?
Kyro, now is not the time to pull that card.
I knew my father would be angry about this, but I didn't think he would be this angry. I hated disappointing my father in any way, so I just held my head down because the angry glare he was giving me was breaking my heart.
And now is the time for her to pull a stunt like this?
I didn't say that. I just want everyone to calm down so they won't say anything they can't take back later.
What she needs to take back is her letter of resignation. Young lady, you are going to tell your firm that you made a mistake and you are not leaving. And I'm not asking.
I'm sorry, Daddy, but I can't do that.
Is this the thanks I get for rescuing your ass? Maybe I should have left you where I found you.
Words I never thought I would hear out of my father's mouth. All I could do was break down and cry as my knight in shining armor shattered my heart with his sharp tongue.
Don't you ever talk to her like that. I don't give a fuck who you think you are or what you did. You did what you were supposed to do as a father, and you don't ever have a right to throw that in her face. Punk motherfucker.
I didn't even have to lift my head. I could hear the anger dripping from Kingston's voice. Till this point, no one in the family knew. Anyone else besides my mother and father knew what happened to me. But I told Kingston when we were small children. Kingston was my own personal doll baby when we were growing up, and I often talked to him not knowing he understood what I was saying. I didn't even know he still remembered. The deafening silence in this room told me the rest of my siblings were confused on what was going on.
Boy, have you lost your mind?
Kyro rose out of his seat, taking off his dinner jacket. This was not the response I expected when I planned to break the news to my father. Kyro and Kingston wanted for a long time to go head to head. I just never thought it would be over me. Quickly, I wiped my tears, standing to my feet. I stood in front of Kingston, attempting to push him away from the dinner table, but he was not budging.
All right, Kyro, that's enough. I don't know what you think is about to happen, but I will not sit here and have my husband and son fighting at this dinner table.
Yo, somebody needs to smack the shit out of him for what he just said. And it should be you, Asia. You always stand there and allow him to treat us like slaves. We're his children.
Wait a minute, Kingston. Don't come for mommy like that. I don't know what is going on right now, but don't take daddy's words out on mommy.
Yeah, you right, little sis, because mommy should have taken daddy's words out on mommy. Ain't that right, Asia?
After he got the last word out, making Asia hold her head down, I was able to push him out the dining room into the foyer. He was too drunk to drive home, which he tried to do. I had to snatch his keys from him and force him inside my car.
Like I said, sis, you of all people should have a problem with the family name coming before right and wrong. But no, Kingston always has to be the one to stand up to the almighty Carter name. Well, fuck being a Carter. I'm about to change my name.
I started the car and drove off my parents' property.
Oh, yeah? To what?
Yo, I'm glad you asked me, sis. Check this out. I was thinking about Kingston Harris.
Shut the fuck up.
Come on, stop fronting. You know you like that. It rolls off the tongue. Come on. Kingston Harris. Yeah.
The Pride of Kyro was written by Ejanai Kamal, produced and directed by Ejanai Kamal and Hanif Wynn. Kyro Carter was played by Jeremiah Blunt. Asia Carter was played by Courtney Jones. Kane Carter was played by Hanif Wynn. London Carter was played by LaToya Ransom. Kingston Carter was played by Jocelyn Frazier. Brooklyn Carter was played by Raven Noble. Karan Carter was played by Zodu Mogs. Captain Sheba was played by Dwayne Bradshaw. Wes Hughes was played by Nick Meyer. Nefertiti Allen was played by Siv Jones. C4 was played by DeJuan Williams. Farrah Wright was played by Taisha Shuford. Bryson Patterson was played by Zodu Mogs. Additional background vocals provided by Khalil Laporta and Christian Guillermo. For the Love of the Pride of Kyro was written by Joseph Buchanan. The Pride of Kyro was recorded at Patchwork Studios in Atlanta, Georgia. Sound design for The Pride of Kyro was done by Christian Guillermo. The Pride of Kyro was mixed and mastered by Christian Guillermo from a Shiesty Major. Promotional visuals was provided by Fame of Plan B Marketing. Additional vocals provided by Luther Banks. The Pride of Kyro is streamed on all podcast platforms. Please subscribe and leave us a review. Follow us on all social media at The Pride of Kyro. Follow us on Patreon to receive all exclusive content and early bird access to new episodes. We appreciate all y'all support. Catch us on the next episode.